Okay. Welcome to the Dragon's Den. Young old man here. You heard that right. You heard that right. So this is going to be an episode. Obviously, it's going to be a music episode, and I'm going to be talking about my favorite music score. Perhaps, in my opinion, one of the best music scores ever. There's a lot of guys, and everybody, John Williams is to me. Everybody knows, blah 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 blah. I don't care. Basil Pouledouris, Conan the Barbarian, best music score ever. Like, I did a blog about this on my Dragon's Den blog years ago, but I'm going to revisit it here for my little talk show because it's an awesome score slash soundtrack because there was no songs for the no modern songs for the movie when it came out. Now, Conan the Barbarian came out, I think, like 83, 84, 82. I was gonna say 82. See, I know it came out 82. Now, I didn't go see this in the theaters. I was like 6 when it came out, but I remember seeing it on television for the first time and just being like completely entranced. Now, to be fair, it's not the best movie, uh, technical wise, as far as the filming and the acting, even some of the dialogue, right? And even part of the storyline, like the beginning of the way they had the story for Conan and his early years, how he became what he became, that was really kind of lazily done. I'm not even gonna front. So it should be a crappy movie, but it's not. It works, and a huge part of the reason why it works is because of the music. Now, granted, they had, you know, three excellent thespians in this film. You had the great James Earl Jones playing the main villain, I think Thalthamon. You had you had the great thespian Mako, an Asian dude playing the wizard, and you had what is his name? Max von Sydow. See, I knew it was Max von Sydow. So you had James Earl Jones, Mako, Max von Sydow, right? Great actors. They've been in the business for like forever. And they've been in the business for a long time, even when they made this movie. So they gave this fantasy film legitimacy, right? Uh, because the star of the film playing Conan was Arnold. Everybody knows who Arnold Schwarzenegger is, right? So this is his first starring movie, big movie role. Now he made his name in the sport world of bodybuilding, weightlifting. He was Mr. Universe, he was Mr. Everything at the time, right? So he was like the bodybuilding dude. Now he's from Austria. His English was atrocious because he's native Austrian. Yeah, he's a native Austrian. Like, he didn't grow up speaking English, so he came here, but he learned English and just got a severe accent and became a huge movie star. Like in the '80s, it was Sly Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger. They were the two biggest movie stars because the '80s were the era of the huge action movie, and they were the two biggest names. And Arnold became the biggest name because of this movie, Conan the Barbarian. He plays Conan. Um, he wasn't really an actor. He wasn't a trained actor at this moment. It's like he was winging it. And the director, John Milius, I give him credit because it could have been way worse than it actually was. But it really works. I mean, this movie is a train wreck, and yet it works. I'll do another post about other movies. I think I did a blog about movies that shouldn't work, but this is like the main one. Like the dialogue was oof, acting was oof. You know, the three main characters, Conan, the thief, that was Conan's friend, Jerry, played by Jerry Lopez, and Valeria, played by Sandal Bergman, who became actually a pretty decent actress. She was a dancer. You know, Jerry was a surfer dude from California. Like these three were not actors, and they were like the three main characters. So yeah, yeah, but the music, the music for this film was so intricate to the film, the story. Like a lot of scores, they ride the moments, they ride the scenes. It's become music, and music for film is a certain language, right? People know what instruments and what sounds. The people in the business, I should say, in the business of creating scores and music for films and television, they know what instruments and sounds evoke what emotions. They know how to drive you towards a certain idea going along with the visual, right? So the score for Conan is damn near a character in the film. Every single scene has its own music, right? If I remember correctly, I believe like the score, I have the CD, right? And the score, the sequencing of the music and on the score is actually the same sequence as it appears through the film. So if you just listen to the score, you can actually visualize the film in your head. I've watched that movie like a million billion times, and I've listened to the score like twice that. So, like, because the score is just that good, and like I said, the score is damn near a character in the movie. Like, each character has their own type. Almost every character has like their own musical sequence. Almost like Star Wars. Like you hear certain music, you know it's Darth Vader. You hear certain music, you know it's Luke. You hear certain music, you know Yoda's gonna be on the screen, right? Each character and each scene has its own music. So if you hear it, you know exactly where in the movie you are, and so it's like, it's just so well done, and the music is actually good. Like it's not throwing. Like one of my least favorite music scores that I bought was Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one, and the Pirates theme version, the Jack Sparrow kind of lead, Jack Sparrow piece was really the main piece, and the composer for that, I'm not bothering to look it up right now because it's unimportant, but the composer for Pirates of the Caribbean, he used that main pirate theme for Jack Sparrow for like the whole score. Like it was maybe I gotta listen to it again. Like I got a more mature ear now, but yeah, I was really just like, you're just playing the same shit over and over. It was crappy. I gotta listen to it again, but like that's the impression that I remember. It's like there was the one main theme. There's Jack Sparrow, the Pirates theme, and I mean that's an excellent piece. I mean it's a great piece, and then there's derivatives of that piece throughout the whole fucking film. There's no separate musical piece for like Captain Barbossa. There's no separate music. Like there's other ones like when. Anyway, I'm not going into that one, but yeah, it seemed like that one was like a lazy composition for me. For Conan, this was really intricate and well done composition. I don't know if Basil like was just a workaholic or just really cared about this piece for whatever reason, because at the time you got to remember this is like 82. This is like, you know, fantasy films, speculative fiction films, and films and television weren't taken very seriously. They were like throwaway things. They were not seen as real art, right? It was just like throwaway kid shit for people in the industry. You know, like Raging Bull and Godfather. Those were films, and like Star Wars and you know, Buck Rogers in the 25th century, and Star Trek. Those were just kids films, despite the fact that they made lots of money. So this is not science fiction, but it's fantasy, right? And there were some fantasy films by '82, but like this was like the first really kind of big epic one. And like I said, using a whole lot of like no name actors other than the three I mentioned, James Earl Jones, Max von Sydow, and Mako, who were the actually veteran thespians in this film. Almost everybody else was like off the street damn near. Right? So it's interesting mix to say the least. And when you hear that mix, it shouldn't work. But what really makes the film cohesive, despite these newcomers and the dialogue being kind of shifty and some of the editing being and some, you know, is the music. The music is what holds this film together. You know, you talk about something being a piece, the sum of the parts being greater than, no, the whole being greater than the parts. Like this, I know I just butchered that because I can't remember it, but you know, the sum is greater than all the parts that make it up, and this is like the epitome of that. Like all the little parts could have derailed this, but the music is the one part that makes the whole thing really cohesive. If you've never watched Conan the Barbarian, with a modern eye, you're gonna say this is cheesy, this is stupid, but I think you should watch it just for the experience, to see what early 80s fantasy films look like. A lot of fantasy films from the 80s copied, you know, kind of the look and the style of what Conan the Barbarian set. It was like really, like I said, the first big kind of epic fantasy film. Because Star Wars was like the first big epic sci-fi film. It wasn't the first sci-fi film, but it was the first big epic one, right? Anyway, and so though Conan wasn't as big as Star Wars was by any means, for fantasy films that had the same effect as Star Wars, like everybody was trying to copy the dynamics that it set a precedent that everybody was trying to copy. Hollywood is the place of copycats. So anyway, but the Conan the Barbarian score is freaking awesome. Listen to it. Even if you've never seen the movie, listen to the score. Just the music alone could probably take you to a different place. Even if if it doesn't take you to the place of the movie, it'll take you somewhere else because it's just that good. That's what music's supposed to do. It's supposed to transport you somewhere. It's supposed to calm you. And the music tells the story of the film because, like I said, every single scene has its own piece of music. So every music, and the titles, obviously, because each piece has its own title. Just by reading the titles, you can probably imagine what the movie's like just from what you're listening to, and the titles of each piece. The title of each piece goes with the scenes of the film. It's just really great. I love the score, and I love the film too, despite the fact that it's a cheesy ass film. But with the music, it's a great piece of cinema. So, if you never watched it, go watch it. If you have watched it, watch it again. You're older now. You might find something different that you like about it. And pay attention to the music as you watch it, if you choose to watch it. But yeah, Conan the Barbarian, the score, great piece of art with the film and separate from the film. Great work. I love it. yeah, that's it for this episode of Young Old Man. I just wanted to get that out there. How going, young old man out. Peace.